Now here's what the funnel looks like. I want to give you the picture before we take out the puzzle pieces and start putting them together. This will be helpful for you. This isn't totally concrete, fixed in stone. You start here. And if you can find a better model for your specific product, for your specific audience, for your specific personality, for your specific goals and desires, please adjust. But we start here. We go fast, right? So the idea is we take them to a squeeze page. I like an ebook. Call me old-fashioned. But ebooks for me typically, more times than not, outperform anything else that we can. Maybe not as good of opt-in rates. But if you look through from click-throughs to registrations to attendings to purchasing, we send them to a good old-fashioned squeeze page for an ebook. On the thank you page, we use what's called a disguised video sales pitch. So when they start watching it, they think it's like a get-to-know-you video, or that we're nice and that we're having fun together. And before they know it, 15, 20, 30 minutes in, we're hard selling, pushing hard. But most people won't get that far. Most people are not ready yet to go all the way through, so they see somebody that came in, gave them a good, warm experience, like, hi, my name's Jason, nice to meet you, here's what's going to happen, blah, 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 and then they bounce. But the ones that buy are great. You know why they're great? They offset your ad cost up front. So this is always a balance between ideal and real. I don't have an unlimited budget. Anybody in here have an unlimited budget? No. So we got to be practical. So this is where we take the best people we can so we can funnel that money right back in and buy more people, right? Then we go from that. That's the video sales pitch takes them to a long-form, hard-hitting sales letter. Like this is the old traditional 16-page, 32-page copy, sales copy, and we actually have this whole thing is linked out for you. So a lot of these pages we've built, they're just waiting for the content that I'm going to shoot over the next 2 days to come into it. So some of that you can see, or we'll share it with you later. But that's how we sell them. And then we take them through a checkout process. Now we're using Pay Kickstart right now. We recommend that you guys do. We're trying to work a deal with them. Can't say anything. But I like these guys because they do checkbox upsells, which would have made us about $10 million more if we had the capability in our business over the last 10 years. They're really good guys. I know them personally. I've worked with them. I've done webinars with them, consulted with them, and they came out with this shopping cart. So we like this now. But the point of it is whatever your checkout process is, that's got to be good too, because your abandonment rate on that, if you track that, is what? It's a lot. 27%, 40%, 70%. So that page is critically important even though there's not a lot of elements on it. But this is the initial. So somebody could not know who I am, opt in, get pitched, see the long form sales letter underneath it, and then go and buy from me immediately on Facebook. Does that make sense? Now the likelihood of that happening for every 1,000 people up front is what? Percentage-wise, what would you guess? Not that many. Let's say 5, right? So if I'm selling a $1,000 product and we get 5 of them to buy immediately, we've just generated $5,000 in top line revenue. And if we spent $5,000 to get 1,000 clicks, right? Maybe that's doable. Maybe it isn't. That's how you got to play this. How can we buy clicks at break even or better, or even if we take a loss, is it an acceptable loss? But yeah, you get 1,000 people to go through this and only 5 buy, jump for joy. The name of the game is less, not more, because we can replicate that now. In the business world in the past online, you couldn't. You did it and then it was done. I mean, I had guys that would consult with me saying, Jason, we need to split test this. And I laugh because they split test it, they lose half of their business. Now they know which one won, but they got nobody to roll the winner out to. I'm like, you just lost $25,000 learning that this other version performed better than this version because you took what you knew was the best, you tried to adjust it, that thing of course didn't do as well. And you didn't learn anything. You thought that was really smart, and then you generalized that split test to the next promotion, and it doesn't freaking work. So yeah, nowadays that stuff can work. We can replicate and duplicate at a magnitude that's insane. Now here comes the email follow-up sequence. So I'm giving you context, and you're going to get all these slides. You got the workbook, right? This is what happens. That's the immediate funnel. Now we got them on an email list. This is what this looks like. Remember what our objectives are? As soon as they get on the email list, let's get them to open that thing. If they open it, did they click through? If they click through, did they register for the webinar? If they registered, then we start selling them on attending, showing up, and buying from the webinar. That's our path. Open, click through, register. We tried one time to sell them immediately, point of sale, as soon as they opted in and came in. And after that, we're like, let's see what they do on the email. Now here's what's great. If they don't open, we remail them. And I have a little information on this 2 hours later, and you can adjust these a little bit, but this is what I like. Are you familiar with the concept called decision fatigue or opportunity fatigue? This is a real thing. We have more opportunities than ever, and people are more miserable than ever. Why is that? So jelly bean study. They go to the first group of people, they say, you got 2 flavors of jelly beans you can choose from. Which one do you want? They pick one, they eat it, they say, how much did you like that? How happy were you with your decision? And they make notes. They take the second group of people and say, we got 32 jelly bean flavors to choose from. Pick the one you want. They pick it, they eat it. How were you happy? Were you happy with your decision? How happy were you with your decision? Here's what they find out. The people that had 2 choices were typically 3 to 4 times happier than the people who had 32 choices. Consumers want more choices even though it brings them misery. It's like when we went to the video store back in the day, you got 1 video that week, you had 20 to choose from, and damn if it wasn't a good decision. Now you get on Netflix and you complain because you're 2 hours deep into this thing and you still can't find anything to watch, right? So I'm giving you choice constraint. Just start here. Now you don't have to end here, but start here. 2 hours later, we remailed the ones who didn't open. Let's get a lot from a little, right? So why does somebody typically open an email from a complete stranger? What's the number one factor? Chaz?
They want something.
Well, they want something, but what causes the action of opening?
Curiosity.
Dan, curiosity. So let's get specific. Subject line. Subject line. Now, if they know you, it's the from name. But these people don't know you yet, right? So guess what we do? We don't rewrite a full new email. We just change the subject line and write a new lead. That's it. That's if they don't open it, okay? Now, if they open the remail, did they click through? That's important because that's what we want to do. If they didn't, then 12 hours later, we hit them with the next email. Now, if they click through but didn't register, then we hit them with the next email. So that's the psychology. And that's in your slides, it's in your workbook. I've actually mapped this out several different ways. It all means the same stuff. Just so you can get very clear where we're going. Somebody gets on my email list, if they don't open, I want to get them open. If they didn't click through, I want them to get it clicked through. If they click through but didn't register, I want them to register. And different people have different trigger points. Some people will register right away. Great. Some people will wait a little bit to register. Fantastic. Some people will never register. Okay. We just got to figure this out. So this is the model. And here's what's really cool about this. This is how this works. Next email, guess what we do? The same thing. Did they open? If yes, did they click through? Did they register? The number one purpose of this goal is to get them from my general email list to the webinar list. So much work. I mean, being a millionaire is not easy, right? Used to be easy. No, it never was easy. Nowadays, $1 million isn't even that much money anyway, right? Inflation and all that. Now, here's what I've done, because I've really tried to systemize businesses now. It's all about scale with me, right? So let's not be super creative. Let's not be super micro-calibrated to each and every scenario, because that doesn't seem to work too well from scale. Let's just use templates. So I write 3 emails, or I have somebody write 3 emails for each video. So one of the videos we're going to be shooting is the winning Amazon formula. So I'll give you the psychology of why video number 1 should be very general. Like high level, 50,000 feet in the clouds. The positive of the winning Amazon formula produces more first-generation riches than any other model online or off. The negative of missing out on this content, most people will never know about this even if it's hidden in plain sight. And then curiosity, in this case, churches, aliens, and Amazon Prime members. Which one has the most? Hint, it's Amazon Prime members, right? That's video 1. So I say, what's a positive spin? What's a positive hook? What's a negative hook? What's a curiosity base? You can dash this out in 2 minutes, hand it to a copywriter, go. You say, Jason, which one should I lead with? I don't care. You say, I'm going to lead with the negative. Great. If they don't open the negative, then we remail them 2 hours later. What do we remail them? Whatever you want, the positive or the curiosity, your choice. Just pick one. And then, if they don't do that, 12 hours later, we mail them one more time to try to consume video 1. Our goal is, if they don't consume video 1, either through 2 emails because they opened the first one, or they didn't open it, but they opened the second one, and then they got one more chance, then we move them on to the second video. So in this particular case, the one we're going to be shooting is the best products to sell. What are the best types of products to sell on Amazon? And the hook to get them to open that email and click through is some products you can sell on Amazon are impossible not to make money with. That's the positive. The negative is if you pick the wrong product on Amazon, you're screwed no matter what, right? Selling Bibles to Muslims, very hard to do. Curiosity, why snorkels on Amazon gets me excited. I don't know which one of these will work. And we might have to swap these out later, but this is really systematic. When you have to create excessive content and go excessively further than normal to do a model like this, you have to systematize. You have to make it as turnkey as humanly possible. And the same thing with the third video, sourcing, private labeling, the fourth video, and then the fifth video as well. So these are the email sequences. So essentially, I like 5 videos. Now you might do 4 videos, 3 videos, 6 videos. It doesn't really matter. Just whatever makes sense for your content. At least 4 videos though. And each one gets 3 emails. Simple as that. Now what's great about this is really it's kind of like 10 emails, because if I go a positive negative on the reopen, then I just change the lead. And then we can just run the rest of the email, right? Because we can switch from negative to positive. Now most of you typically sell only from a benefit standpoint, which is crazy. If you only could choose between selling the pain or selling the promise, pick the pain every single time. Because people are more motivated to act on the pain, but here's the problem. As we become successful, we are more focused on the benefits and the pleasures, right? We live pretty charmed lives here, most of us do. Now, emotionally, we're still all fucked up, but whatever, right? At least we can pay people lots of money to try to fix our neuroses, right? But these people are coming from a point of complete desperation, and pain is going to be more of a motivator than pleasure. Now, I prefer to sell the promise, not the pain, but we do both. And this is how we don't make the mistake of forgetting. Oh yeah, these people don't want a wider, brighter smile. They want a cure to their toothache. That's what they want. Email follow-up process, again, just to be extra redundant. Email for the video 1 goes out. Do we email or not, based on whether they open? Did they register? If not, we follow up one more time. Same thing for 2, 3, 4, 5. The whole purpose of every single one of these pieces of content is to get them to register for the webinar. That is the whole goal. Every email that we send from the general product launch content, or PLC for short, is to get them to register. And then there's some notes here. When somebody registers, we remove them from this list. So if they register in video 1, they don't see 2, 3, 4, or 5. Done. We did our job. If they have to wait for 2 or 3, then so be it. We pixel them, and we know where they're at in the next part of the process. So somebody, if they watch video 1, I don't have to just rely on email anymore. I can advertise video 2 to them. And they know what the next video in the sequence is. Now we take somebody who's a stranger, and they become less strange.